All right, we're talking today about solving equivalent systems of linear equations. And you guys have seen linear equations for 4 lessons in a row, right? But you've used what 3 methods? Graphing, substitution, elimination. And today, it doesn't tell you which one we're going to use. But someone already asked Nick, and it's all of the above. So not all of the above. A and B are really what we're going to use. If I look at this equation right here, or this system right here, if I want to try elimination, do you guys remember what I do with the 2 equations? I can either add them or subtract them. So don't write this down. Don't write this down because I'm going to show you what's happening. If I add them, what's 2x plus 5x? And y plus negative 3y? And 2 plus 27? And does that get me what I wanted? No. Nothing eliminated. That was a bad choice. But we also have the tool of subtraction, right? So it's 2x minus 5x. Oh, yes. What's y? Minus negative 3y. Positive 4y. Be careful with that. That's positive 4y. And 2 minus 27. Oh, did that give me what I wanted? So you're thinking, can we do elimination? Not the way it's written. So now we're like, what other way could we have done? Good, substitution, you could have done it. Or we can upgrade elimination. Look at the top equation right here. I rewrote it up here on this board. And I want you to look at it right here because we're going to do something to it. Is the left side equal to the right side? How do you know that? It says equal to, right? These two are equally balanced. I had my scales, remember? So we're equally balanced, right? I'm allowed to add the same thing to both sides, remember? I'm allowed to subtract the same thing from both sides, right? But am I allowed to multiply both sides or divide both sides by the same thing? Yes, you've been doing that for a while. I'm going to choose to multiply both sides by 3. That's pretty random if you think about it. Just 3? Okay. So what am I going to get? Well, what's 3 times 2x? 6x. 3 times y? 3y, and then equals 2 times 3. 6. Now, when I multiplied both sides by 3, did I change the original equation? I changed the way it looked, but I did not change the solutions. In fact, it's kind of like this. If I put on that sweatshirt, or whatever it's called, a hoodie, do I change who I am? No, I'm just changing what I'm wearing, right? This equation and this equation are the same thing. And that's because we multiply both sides by 3. Now, you might be wondering, why did you do that? That's a great question, because if I don't answer that, that was pointless. Do you have another one? Or is that it?
I just say why 3.
I'm going to do this here. I'm going to rewrite this equation like I did up there. So I get, and you can start writing this down. 6x plus 3y equals 6. And I didn't do anything to the bottom equation, so I'll leave it alone. Can anyone tell me why I multiplied the top equation by 3? What happened to my new system? Jensen?
Because you subtract, or if you add 3y to negative 3y, you get 0.
Good. So look at this new system. In fact, is it really even a new system? No, it's a reworked or reworded system. Now I'm going to add these two together. What's 6x plus 5x? 11x. What's 3y plus negative 3y? Yeah, it got eliminated. 0y is a 0. And then what's 6 plus 27? 33. Okay, can I solve for x? Yeah, x equals 3. So I got x. So isn't this elimination? But we changed elimination to make it more usable. I couldn't eliminate originally, but if I rewrite one of the equations in this case, now I can. How do I find y then? Because I need to find y. Yes, what's that other method we're going to use? Substitute. Now, are you going to substitute x into the first equation, the second equation, or the third equation?
Your favorite.
It doesn't matter. In fact, some of you might think the first equation is better. Some of you might think, no, second is better. And some of you are going to be those Those who are on the fringe, no. The last one is the better way. Does it matter which one? No, I'm going to give you a recommendation, though. Pick one of the original equations. Does anyone know why I would pick one of the original equations and not one that I changed? Davis. Okay, smaller numbers, but what if they're like evenly nice, small, bigger numbers? There's something else I want to consider. I don't necessarily want to use that one.
Maybe would you have to I know you'd have to simplify, wouldn't you? So
Okay, well, you could, and you'd come back to this, right? Yeah. The reason I don't want to use the one I made up is because could I have made that up wrong? Could I have messed up on this step? Yeah, so I want to use the original one to get closer to the actual answer. Who wants to use the first equation? Who wants to use the second equation? Great, we'll use the second one. 5 times 3 minus 3y equals 27. Now here's why I did this. If you could do it on the tougher one, can you do it on the easier one? Yeah, so let's see how the tougher one goes. What's 5 times 3? So I got 15 minus 3y equals 27. All I did was substitute, and then I just multiplied. I'm going to subtract 15 from both sides. I get negative 3y is equal to 12. What do I do to both sides then? Divide by negative 3, I get y equals negative 4. Y equals negative 4. So what's my ordered pair? Yeah, you got to write it like this, 3, negative 4. Okay, that's your answer. So is that basically elimination? Yeah, it is, but you upgrade it. Now, even if elimination didn't look like it was usable, it can be right here. Rachel, is that my solution?
Yes.
How do you know that? Because I circled it, right? But is it the correct solution?
Yes.
I hope so. That'd be a shame. Yeah. Why? What do you think?
Are there any of the things that you can't use upgraded elimination?
Nope. All of them can be used with upgraded elimination. So that's nice. Okay, the reason I don't know that's my answer is because I haven't checked it yet. So I'm going to check it. What's 2 times 3? 6 plus negative 4. Check, right? It works? Okay, what's 5 times 3? Negative 3 times negative 4? What's 15 plus 12? Doesn't it check? Okay, but does it check up here? What's 6 times 3? What's 3 times negative 4? What's 18 minus 12? It had to check in all of them, especially the first two. Yes?
You need to multiply by 3 because we need the answer to that problem. But if we haven't had the problem, how do we know it's multiplied?
What a great question. Let's look at our next one. Looking at this one, I don't remember the answer. I don't remember how to do the work. But we could still find the way to eliminate one of the variables. So here's the first question you ask. Which variable do you not like the most? Your choice. The x's or the y's? Your pick.
The y.
Okay, y's. A lot of people hate the y's. I don't know why. No. I mean, I don't know why. Like, I just... See, now you think I'm always joking. Okay, Mike.
Just a second ago, you said that when you're choosing a solution to plug type to substitute with, to choose one of the first two, wouldn't it not matter? Because if you did the multiplication wrong, you wouldn't have the correct thing to substitute, so it wouldn't really matter.
No, like if you got x, we said 3, you put it in here. So are you saying to solve for the y or to check it? Check the whole thing. Okay, yeah. So I put it here. I can get an answer. Let's say I get 4. It works in that equation, but it won't work in the original because maybe I switched the sign on the new equation. And so it looks good, it works, but not in the original one. So you could get an answer, but it just won't be the right one. And then when you check it here, you're like, oh man, I messed up. So you could do that by not using the new equation. Use one of these to get better accuracy. It helps increase that accuracy. That's a good question. Okay. Wait, is this the problem? Okay. Which one do you want to eliminate? Betsy, your choice. Which one do you want to get rid of? You just pick. I don't like this one. I prefer. Okay, the y's. Now, if I add these two equations together, is that going to eliminate the y? No. If I subtract them? No. No, right? Because you're going to get negative 4y minus negative 4y minus 5y. That's negative 9y. Oh, that's not what I wanted. What you're going to do now is if you want to eliminate the y, which you can, you're going to pick a number that both of these fit into, which is the LCM of 4 and 5. Does anyone know what the LCM of 4 and 5? What's the smallest number that 4 and 5 can divide into? 20? Watch this. I'm going to multiply the top equation by 5. Why would I do 5? Because what's 5 times negative 4 going to get me? Negative 20. That's going to get me that special number, which I like. What do I multiply the bottom equation by? 4. Okay, and you're like, that seems pretty random to me. Let's see. Yes, I'm going to actually... Did you say negative?
Yeah.
You could have done negative. You could have done positive. And I'll show you what the difference is going to be. Let's do it this way, and I'll show you the difference. The difference. Man, I don't come up with these. They just come up. What's 5 times 6x? 30x. Oh, no. What's 5 times negative 4y? Negative 20y. What's 5 times 14? 70. Oh, man, mister, you just made this bigger. How is that supposed to help me? What's 4 times 9x? 36x. What's 4 times 5y? Positive 20y. What's 4 times negative 1? Negative 4. That didn't help me. You just made everything bigger. It's like you had a balloon and you just blew up everything. And that's now just... What? Oh, yes. Do you add the two equations or subtract? Add them. Okay. The reason I add is because what's negative 20y plus 20y? Eliminate it. Now, if you multiplied everything by negative 4, you would get negative, negative, positive. That works. So you would just subtract the two. So you could do it either way, but some people prefer adding only. So we're adding. What's 30x plus 36x? 66x. We already said negative 20y plus 20y is eliminated. 70 plus negative 4? 60. Oh, thank you. What do you do to both sides? And you get x equals 1. Yay. We got one of them. How do I figure out the other one? Yes, ma'am? All right. Now, I'm going to let Marissa pick which one she's going to use. But, Marissa, you either will have your classmates liking you or hating you. No pressure. Go ahead.
I would say the second one. I don't know if that's it. I mean, you can do...
That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And maybe some of your classmates, I hate 9. I love 6. Okay, it doesn't matter. As long as you do it correctly. Okay, so you substituted 1 in for x. And remember, pick one of the original. 9 times 1? 9. Plus 5y. Equals negative 1. What do you do to both sides? Subtract 9 from both sides. You get 5y equals negative 10. Then what do you do to both sides? Divide by 5. And you get y equals negative 2. So what's my ordered pair? 1, negative 2. That's your answer. Does it work? 6 times 1. Negative 4 times negative 2. 6 plus 8? Check. 9 times 1. 5 times negative 2. What's 9 minus 10? Check. Checks in both. Should it check in that one? Yeah. That one? Yeah, it does. Yeah. But you should check the first two because those are your original. Oh, how many of you like elimination even more? How many of you are still semi-fond, like you're kind of fond of substitution?
I like arguments.
I just love math.
How many of you hate graphing even more? You're like, why did we... Okay, don't worry, you'll get it back. On? Tuesday. Yeah. Tuesday, yes, if that's what you meant. All right. All right, I'm going to do a class vote. Everyone should vote. Once you write this... Sorry? See, that's a history joke, right? No. It is. It is a joke. Because... And I liked the joke. It was funny. Okay, but anyway, you're either going to vote for X to be eliminated, so you're going to vote for eliminate X or eliminate Y.
Eliminate Y.
Okay, so who's going to eliminate X? Who's like, I got to get rid?
Don't raise your hand right now.
I wanted to.
Who's going to eliminate Y?
Yeah.
I'll
be the odd one.
Okay, go ahead and eliminate your Y, right? That's what you wanted. Y. Go ahead and do it. Now you're like, but what should I do? Could I add these two together and they get eliminated? No. Can I subtract them and get them eliminated? No. Can I do something to either one of them to get them eliminated? What should I multiply the top one by?
Negative 2.
Okay, you can go by -2 or +2, but either one's going to work. That's the cool part. You can do it many ways. All right, 2 I'm going to go with because people are more comfortable. And the bottom one by? 3. Because, and you're like, well, why those? And why in that order? When you multiply them out, you're going to see that something works out well. What's 2 times 2x? 4x. What's 2 times -3y? -6y. What's 2 times 0?
2.
0.
Are we saying one eliminate X?
You're multiplying the top one by 2 and the bottom one by 3.
Do both of them and then X.
Yeah, you want to multiply both first. What's 3 times 3x? 9x. What's 3 times -2y? -6y. And then what's 3 times 1? 3. Okay, so that's what we get. By the way, is 4x minus 6y equals 0 different in value from 2x minus 3y equals 0? No. That's why the whole lesson is called Solve Equivalent Systems of Linear Equations. Okay, but anyway, do I want to add these two or subtract them?
Subtract. Because if you add, then it doesn't cancel.
4x minus 9x, -5x. -6y minus -6y is really -6y plus 6y eliminated. 0 minus 3. Ooh. Uh-oh. So how do you solve for x? You guys wanted it. Divide by -5. Good. Oh, that's -3 divided by -5, positive 3/5. Just leave it as a fraction since there was no decimals in the problem. And then how are you going to solve for y? How are you going to solve for y? Which one? Top one? How many of you want the top one? How many of you want the bottom one? Great, I'm going with the bottom one. All right, 3 times 3/5 minus 2y equals 1. What's 3 times 3/5? 9/5. Oh, sorry. Minus 2y equals 1. What do you do to both sides to get y by itself? You're going to first subtract or do something. Tell me. Subtract 9/5 from both sides. Yeah, tell me about it. -2y equals, what's 1? Isn't it 5/5? So what's 5/5 minus 9/5? -4/5. I want to see if you guys can tell me how to solve this the easiest way possible. Does anyone remember how to solve that? Multiply by the reciprocal of -2. Yes, ma'am?
Why is it 5
Because it was 1, right?
Yeah.
And you wanted a common denominator. So it would have been 1 over 1, but no, we want to use 5 over 5. Oh, multiply by the... Cancel, plus y equals, cancel, positive 2/5.
Mr. A, you chose the wrong one.
Oh, man.
The top was the easy one.
Actually, I just did that the wrong way. Now, John, did you solve for the top one? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, fine, good. If you solve for the top one, the bottom one, if you do it correctly, should you get it right?
Yes.
Yes, you have options. And that's what I told you, and that's what I prayed about. You need practice. I needed practice with this when I was like, what is going on? Practice. What does practice give you? Experience. You start seeing them, you're like, oh yeah, I did that last time. Don't want to do that again, so let's try something else. And then practice and experience can get you pretty far, but there's another step that you need that I can't give you. And it is, does anyone remember? Wisdom. Listen, I can't give that to you. Can't give you wisdom. You can't get it from yourself. This book doesn't give it to me. It only comes right from the Lord. So listen, I'm going to give you practice and I'm going to give you some experience. You're going to get experience on your own. But the only way you're going to be able to say, what do I do on this problem, is by asking the Lord, what do I do on this problem? And you're like, does he care about that math problem? Does he care about truth? You answered the question. Good. All right. Here we go, guys. They're not always that easy. Yes. Sorry? He's swallowing me? He's doing what he's told. No, I wanted him to move with me because I'm moving more. And he works better now. He's been upgraded.
Yeah, he did work for a long time.
Okay, now listen up. What are you noticing about this problem that is not so nice?
The equal signs are
Standard.
Oh, there we go. They're not in the same form. You see how you got 5x equals y plus 8 and negative x plus 2y equals negative 7? If you were just to add the equations, you would do this. So just at least look up here so you know what I'm saying. Because all you do is you hear words if you're not looking up. You would have to add 5x with negative x plus 2y, get some answer, and then y plus 8 plus negative 7, get some answer, and nothing got eliminated. So that didn't help you out. But what if I get them in the same form? So you're like, what do you mean? What form is that almost in? Good, almost standard form. And you don't have to make it proper, but does anyone know what makes it not standard form? A is negative. Good. So that's, oh man, that's so good, guys, because that means you remember last chapter, which is always a good thing. So how do I get this top equation in standard form? Subtract y from both sides. So I'll do that right here. I'm just going to rewrite it. Okay, so that's the equation. It's not in the same form as the bottom one, so let's make it in the same form. You subtract y from both sides, you get 5x minus y equals 8. Okay, I'm going to rewrite that up here with a big equal sign because they are equal, although they've been rearranged. So the top equation on both of these, they're the same thing, they're just being rearranged. Why did I rearrange them? Because now it's easy to see what I can eliminate. But should I add these two or subtract them? Yeah, if I add them, it's not going to eliminate anything. If I subtract them, I'm not going to eliminate, but I can do something. Who wants to eliminate the x's? Okay, who wants to eliminate the y's? Okay, if you voted for y, eliminate the y. If you voted for x, eliminate the x. If you did not vote, there were about 4 of you, you eliminate the x. Begin. Yes, ma'am.
So, do you want us to make the bottom one positive? Can we go ahead and make it positive?
You could, yeah. You would multiply it. What are you going to eliminate? What are you trying to eliminate?
I'm trying to eliminate the y.
Okay, so you want to make, if you multiply this by a negative, you're going to get positive x, negative 2y, positive 7. You could do that if that's what you want to do. What are you going to multiply the top one by? Because you want, if you're going to eliminate the y's, right? You want these two numbers to be the same. So you got to multiply that by,
Negative 2?
you could do negative 2. So many ways to do it.
Way to do it, though.
Yeah.
Do it.
I think most people want y, so I'll do x. And if you're not, you're like, I don't know which way, Mr. A. Just help me to get to the answer. Let's do x's. I want these two numbers to be the same. X's are easier, by the way.
Go X's.
What do I multiply the top one by? Nothing. Yeah, 1. You can say 1. Or nothing. What do you multiply the bottom equation by? 5. So I'm just going to multiply this bottom one by 5. I get my new equivalent system. So the first one stayed the same.
I did negative back.
You could do negatives, yep. Negative 5x plus 10y equals negative 35. So I just multiplied the bottom one by 5. That's what I rewrote here. Would I add or subtract these? Add them. Because what's 5x plus negative 5x? Yeah, you got eliminated, 0x. What's negative 1y plus 10y? 9y. And then what's 8 plus negative 35? Negative 27. What do I do to both sides? Divide by 9. Y equals negative 3. And which one do you want to plug it into? The first or the second? Your choice.
The second.
Second
Second.
first, second
Second.
Second first, second
Second.
second
All right, second one. Let's go second one. Negative x plus 2 times negative 3 equals negative 7. Could you have plugged it into the first one? Yes, absolutely you could have. But we picked that one, so that's fine. So you're going to add 6 to both sides. You get x, or negative x equals negative 1. So what does x equal? Positive 1. Excuse me? Wait, y? Y is negative 3. Who asked why? Or said why? Because I don't know if it's a question or...
I didn't say why. I said 1 the whole time.
Okay, anyway, you get 1, negative 3. Mm-hmm. Don't test me here. You're good. All right. Does it work? 5 times 1. Negative 3 plus 8. 5 equal to 5? Check. What's the opposite of 1? Negative 1. 2 times negative 3? Negative 6. What's negative 1 minus 6? Checks. Mm-hmm. Okay. How many of you are okay with this? All right. What these problems are doing, man, if I can go back to all the lessons where you learned pieces of this problem, you've learned how to rearrange back in chapter 4 and 5, really. Then you've learned how to solve for variables, and that's 7th grade. And then now you're dealing with these two, but you've been dealing with it for 3 lessons already. Elimination you just learned. It's all coming together. And you think we only have 2 equations in a system? Nope. You know what next Algebra 2, it's going to have 3 of them. You know how much real life has? 4, 5, 6, or 7. So we're building up to that. Not yet, but we're getting there. Yes, ma'am.
I'm still not sure, like, you multiplied that by 5.
The bottom one by 5, yep.
Yeah.
It's right down here.
How do you know whether to multiply it by 5 or like 2? Because the
Yes.
LCM of the 2 y's.
Yeah. So if you want to focus on the y's, I would have multiplied the top by 2. I wanted to eliminate the x's, so that's why I multiplied by 5. Some people, it's your choice.
It doesn't matter which one you do at all.
Sorry?
It doesn't matter.
No, you could go either route. Some of you eliminated the y's, and you got y equals negative 3. Oh, sorry. You eliminated the y's, so you got x equals 1 first. Like you got that first. Then you plug it in, and then you get y equals negative 3. I did it reverse. We still get the same answer, which is good. And that's the whole point. You're going to get practice, you're going to get experience, and then wisdom, it comes, that's between you and the Lord, and God gives it to you. And he says, actually in James, he says, if you ask wisdom, he gives it to you freely. But you got to ask. And how many times are we afraid to ask the Lord for something? We don't even talk to him, much less ask him for things. And that's a promise for his children. All right. 1 through 8 all is your homework. And if the time was right, you have quite a bit of time. So 1 through 8 all, page 149. Goodbye.